We are so back. We are so back. I'm so addicted to making these types of videos now just because I can. Wait, I think I need to increase the volume of the mic. Because when I was editing last time, iska ye scene hua tha ki like the mic's volume was too low, so I had to like when I was talking like this so you could see my face, it was still like the mic's volume was like pretty low. So let me just increase that. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Never mind. Iski gain knob phasi hui hai, so I can't really do shit. But I wanted to just take a moment and just talk about another thing that I've been thinking about along, and us topic का नाम है regret and how to handle regret. As humans, I think we all make mistakes, and we all ऐसे मौके बहुत होते हैं हमारी ज़िंदगी के अंदर in which where we've made mistakes and we've hurt people and we've had to live with the fact that we've hurt people. But that's only if you choose to feel. Many, like, I wrote a couple points down before making this video, sort of like a script, so I know what to say. And उसके अंदर मैंने एक point लिखा था which I think मैंने good intent से लिखा था, but it might come off as demeaning to some people. But I think most people, when they make a mistake, they don't tend to acknowledge it. I've been guilty of that. I've made a couple mistakes which I haven't acknowledged, and I had to live with it and sit with it and feel that emotion, sorry, and realize that I feel the way I feel because of that mistake. That I realized that you have to feel and process an emotion to get better at handling it and not repeating a mistake which you've made. Mistakes can cause you to feel a storm of regret, and people only feel that regret if they choose to feel. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But I've been getting better at just processing things. I think me making these videos, me just giving myself a platform to speak out and talk about talk about these struggles that I face. Well, not struggles ही हैं, but they're not anything that you can't handle when you realize that, oh damn bro, like this shit ain't hard, bro, like but it's not, nothing in this life is hard. You just have to stay faithful to Allah, and you have to realize that things will get better over time, and you shouldn't keep your hopes down. But speaking of regret, मुझे उससे एक और चीज़ याद आई थी which was really interesting. I saw this interview, and I've been really into like Pakistan India ka scene, like politics wise or just like history wise. I've been reading more about it, mostly because, like I mentioned, I was making a concept album and I wanted that to have elements of our culture, like South Asian culture, South Asian elements, like a harmonium or like stuff in that. So I was just researching on art. I was researching on our culture, right? And I stumbled upon this interview. It was of like a British dude, old dude. He was like 98 years old, and he was talking about his time in India. And it was a really, really nice, intimate and raw interview. It was like an hour long, and I've never sat through interviews. I never had the patience to sit through an interview which wasn't about like one of my favorite musicians, or wasn't about any topic that interested me. वो भी अगर मैं देखता था, I would only watch it for like 10 minutes and then quit and go do another video, because like ADD है मुझे, तो I have those fucking problems. But so in this interview, this dude was like, he was just reflecting on his times in India and how it changed him. And उसके अंदर he mentioned he mentioned regret, because the interviewer talked to him about regret. So I think that's where the idea of this video also stems from. But he talked about regret, and when asked about regret, his answer was that he was in charge of a couple soldiers, and they went to a riot, and they had to control the riot, and one of his soldiers killed someone. So he was like really felt very regretful and felt very bad because that happened. So, you could, when he was asked that question, you could see the pain in his eyes still. Like the event had just happened in front of him again. Like you could see the event replaying in his head, and it was just like, it was very, it was a moment, it was like something you have to see, just because it showed so much maturity over the years. And it was just like, you could see the linear growth through his eyes just by the way he was processing those emotions. He said that he spent like half of his life in the British Army, just uh, training to kill people, training to hurt people, training to injure people. And because of his time in India, pehle ye hota tha ki, like, in Britain you were fed this, like, if you were a white person, you were fed this like perspective ke, tum Indian se superior ho, tum black se superior ho, tum unse superior ho, like, the normal thing of the time. It's not normal, but like, so he fell into that perspective while he was in Britain. And when he went to India, usne like usko hit hua ke, damn, I was fucking wrong. And these are people that deserve to be treated the way people are to be treated. And he said he learned a lot in India. India made him the person he is today, and it was just beautiful. It was really beautiful. He listed his heroes: Gandhi, Jinnah nahi tha uske andar mentioned, but it was like Gandhi and Martin Luther King and like some other dude, I don't remember, I'm sorry. But it was really beautiful, just getting his insight and getting his perspective on things. And बीच में उर्दू भी बोली थी उसने, which was really interesting to me. फिर he said that he spent half his life trying to kill and injure people, and in India he saw this Indian soldier get neurosurgery because he had a bullet in his head. I don't know if it's called neurosurgery, but he just had a surgery and there was a bullet in his head, so he had to get that removed. And while seeing that, he realized that damn, this dude, this doctor dude, right, ये भाई जो हैं, इन्होंने पूरी जिंदगी train की है to do the opposite of what I've spent my life doing. And slowly but surely, when he got back to Britain, all these changes in perspectives made him realize that, holy shit, man, like, I want to do medicine, I want to save people. And it was beautiful. It was a really nice interview, and I do recommend anybody who wants to watch it, go watch it. I'm gonna link it in the description. I feel like such a YouTuber right now, bro. Like, it's insane. It's fucking insane. But it just made me think about growth and being old and stuff. And inshallah mujhe bhi moka milega to be old. But the interview just made me think, like, years ago, if you asked me what I would have been through by the time I was 18 to 19, or how much growth I would have had by the time I was 18 to 19, and you told me everything that happened, I would have been like, holy shit, man, you're fucking lying, there's no fucking way. But so much has happened in my life, and I'm so grateful to Allah, and so grateful for all these things that happened that have shaped me to be the person that I am today. I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. No one is perfect. And the only one who's perfect is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's just, there's so many things in your life which you should feel regretful about, and so many mistakes that you could have made and you will make. You're still gonna make mistakes, but it's just the fact that if you acknowledge those mistakes and you learn from those mistakes, and you give yourself time to just feel, and give yourself time to just think about what you've did and feel guilt and feel remorse, then you're on the path to betterment. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Over here, I'm just gonna read what I wrote, because it's easier, guys. But मैंने इसके ऊपर लिखा हुआ है, this is like a script basically. I just wrote this for this video, but like while recording it I was like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna freestyle this shit. So इसके अंदर लिखा हुआ है, years ago, if you asked me what I would learn in the coming years till I was 18 to 19, I could have never possibly been able to tell you how much growth I would go through. And my latest lesson in life till now is about regret and making mistakes. I want to be able to reflect on my mistakes, knowing that I have made peace with them and learned from them to better myself. much like the British soldier learned to value life. Circle check करो भाई, writing ability check करो भाई. लेकिन humans make mistakes all the time, but when we choose to feel, reflect, and choose a path of talking rather than fighting for our self-defense, we learn and we grow. The old dude is insane, by the way. He's 98 years old, but the old dude said the same thing when asked about what he would want people to know or the audience to know in terms of, you know, life or perspective, anything. And usne bola tha, I'm sorry if I, you know, if the quote is wrong, but he said, rather than fighting, talk it out, converse, and you can always come to a compromise. तो हाँ यार, बस this is just something I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry if I drifted away from points in the video, and if it's, you know, different from what the title suggests, but I just, like, you know, felt like talking about this. I'll put the script in the description as well, so, you know, you guys can read it through if you don't want to listen to me. But हाँ तो बस यार, I hope whoever, you know, watches this video feels a sense of like, oh, I needed to hear this, or, you know, realizes that it's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but pray for forgiveness. Pray for forgiveness and just know that, you know, you can always learn from them. You don't have to repeat your mistakes. You don't have to fall into a cycle of self-deprecation कि ये मैंने क्यों किया है, ये मैंने ऐसा क्या किया है, what's wrong with me. You do need to reflect on yourself, reflect on why you made these mistakes in the first place, but use that reflection not for self-deprecation but for growth. And I'm sorry if I didn't say that word right, self-deprecation. That, you know, English not my first language, but like use that mistake that you made to correct yourself in the long run and never repeat those things again. I'm grateful for learning this. I'm grateful to Allah. I'm grateful to all the, you know, challenges that I faced in my life, that I will face in my life in the long run as well. But I'm just grateful that, you know, I have the ability to think about these things and I have the ability to feel. And if anybody watching has made mistakes and doesn't know how to feel about them, बस बैठो, सोचो कि मैंने क्यों किए and इसका inherent reason क्या है, and then pray for forgiveness. No matter if you're like a Hindu, if you're a Christian, if you're, you know, Muslim, we're all the same. We're all human. We all make mistakes, but, you know, pray. Just pray, and zindagi set ho jati hai. So, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आई, लाइक, बेल बटन, सब्सक्राइब, पुश नोटिफिकेशन ना but हाँ यार, I hope everyone has a good day, good night, good evening whenever you're watching, and you know, खुश रहो, सेट हो जाती है ज़िंदगी. And I hope I get asked, you know, when I'm old about my entire life, inshallah. You know, like, I hope some random fucking Indian dude is like, so tell me about your time when you were 18 making music, when you were 19 making music, tell me about it, and tell me about your... Go stream my album, by the way, if you haven't. Kuch gaane out now, Dabbe the band. Why am I self-promoting in this? Like, it doesn't make sense to self, like, promote in a video about fucking regret.